Hello queens. I'm back at y'all with another client tutorial, and today I'm bringing y'all a spotlight halo eye. I'm going to show y'all how I created this beautiful look, and without further ado, we're jumping straight into the tutorial. I'm starting this off by cleaning my client's face. Now that her face is all clean, I'm going to start working on her eyebrows. So I'm outlining them first, and I'm using my Nicka K brow pencil. All the shade names will be in the description box down below. Now that both of the brows have been outlined, I'm going to start filling in all the sparse areas. To fill in the front of her eyebrows, I'm going in with a lighter shade pencil. As I said earlier, all the shade names will be in the description box, but I just like to use a lighter shade at the front because it helps with the ombre, and then I go over everything with my spoolie just to blend it out. To mold her brow hairs down, I'm going in with this I.envy clear lash glue, and I just apply a generous amount onto the hairs, and then I mold them down using the spoolie end of my pencil. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going in with these two Nicka K concealers, and they're in the shades 01 and 07. First, I'm going in with the shade 01, and I'm using this to clean up underneath her arch. Now for the remainder of the way, on the top and the bottom of her eyebrows, I'm just going to be going in with the shade 07. Now that both brows have been cleaned up, I'm taking my e.l.f. Camo Concealer and I'm using this as an eyeshadow base. So I'm just going to be blending this all over her lids. Now I'm just taking some of my RCMA no color powder and I'm going to be pressing this throughout the front of her brows to lighten them up, and I'm also using it to set some of the concealer in place. To start this eyeshadow look off, I'm going in with my Fit Me pressed powder in the shade Truffle, and I'm going to be using this as my transition shade. And as I said earlier, I'm doing a slanted spotlight eye, so that's the shape that we're going to be applying our eyeshadows in. As you can see, I'm just applying this to the edge of her eye, and now I'm bringing it in the inner corner as well, kind of creating that shape. And to do so, I'm using my Wet n Wild taper blending brush. Now I'm going to be going in with a few shades from my SheGlam Smart Cookie palette. And first I'm going in with this dark brown eyeshadow. And I'm using this to add some depth into my look and to deepen things up. So I'm taking this right over our transition shade. To apply the dark brown shade, I went in with a pencil brush. You want your shape to be blended but still visible at the same time, which is why I decided to apply it with this detail brush. Once I have that dark brown color applied, I'm going to go over everything with my blending brush just to further blend out the edges. And to marry these colors together more, I went in with some of my Black Radiance pressed powder in the shade Black Coffee, and I just pressed this in between the two eyeshadows. I apologize if it seems like I'm moving fast in the video. In reality, I only had about an hour and 15 minutes to complete this look, and as y'all can see, we got the job done. It's a very easy look to recreate once you get the hang of it. But after I blend out the shadows, I'm going in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I'm using this to clean up the center of her eye. Remember that this is a no-cut crease look, so it doesn't have to be neat, it just has to be blended. You want to start blending in the center of her eyes, and then as you go up, you want to end up under her eyebrow arch. I'm going in with some more of that concealer and I'm applying it in the inner corners of her eyes. Now I'm just going in and I'm setting the concealer in place using a matte white eyeshadow. I'm taking this warm toned eyeshadow and I'm applying this to the edges of her spotlight. Next, I'm going in with this pigment from AshleyLeeCosmetics. It's in the color Celestial, and I'm applying this to the center of her eyes. You do not need an adhesive for this step. You can just go straight in with the pigment. This next step is optional, but I like to add some details to the center of my spotlight. So I'm going in with a few chunky glitters and some rhinestones as well. First, I'm going in with the stones, and I'm just applying them using my I.envy clear eyelash glue. I like to map out my shape with the glue first, and then I just apply the stones on top using the glue applicator. I went in with different size and different color crystals to add some detail to the look, and my placement was very random. As you can see now, I'm just gluing on a few of the chunky glitter specks. This is definitely one of those go with the flow type of looks, but I think it came out beautiful. Moving on to the face, I'm going in with my Pond's moisturizer, and I'm just using this to hydrate her skin. As you can see, I'm going in with a generous amount, and I like to use the one that's in the blue bottle. I'm applying it to her face first, and then I'm going to blend it into her skin using my damp Real Technique sponge. To prime her face, I'm going in with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. I like to apply the primer the same way I apply the moisturizer, just directly onto her face and then blend it out with my sponge. I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer in the shade 07, and I'm using this to color correct around her face. For her foundation, I'm going in with my Fit Me foundation, and I believe it's either in the shade Classic Tan or Spicy Brown, but I'm just applying this onto her face, and I'm going to blend it out using my dense foundation brush. If you're interested in knowing what brushes that I'm using in this video, majority of the brushes that I use on a regular are linked in my updated brush video, so make sure that you tune in for that video after you finish watching this one. To highlight her face, I'm going back in with my Nicka K concealer, and I'm just applying this to the inner portions of her face, everywhere that you would typically highlight. So on the chin, under the eyes, the nose, and the forehead. I'm going to take whatever excess concealer is left on my brush and use it to clean up the edge of the eyeshadow. To blend out the concealer, I'm going in with another dense foundation brush, and I'm just going to tap everything in place. I'm gonna allow the concealer to sit underneath her eyes a little longer and move on to contour. To contour her face, I'm using my Juvia's Place foundation stick. I will have the shade name in the description box. I went ahead and did the nose contour off camera. Now I'm just taking this flat brush and I'm using this to blend out the concealer underneath her eyes. To set the concealer in place, I'm going in with my Morphe loose powder in the shade Banana. To set the contoured areas of her face, I'm going in with my Black Radiance Contour Palette in the level light to medium, and I'm using the Sculpting shade. Now to set the remaining areas of her face, I'm going in with my Fenty loose powder in the shade Hazelnut. Next, I'm taking some black eyeshadow and I'm using it to line her waterline. I'm going in with some dark brown eyeshadow and I'm using it to smoke out her lower lash line. Now that the under eyes are complete, I'm just going to press in all of the powder. I'm gonna lock everything in place with some setting spray and move on to highlighter. To highlight her face, I'm using my Bperfect Carnival XL highlighter. Last but not least, it's time to do the lips. So I'm taking my Ruby Kisses Cream Foundation in the level number 16, and I'm using this to outline her lips. I'm taking my SnatchedSquad liquid lipstick and I'm just going to work this in the center of her lips using this disposable lip wand. And y'all know I love me a good glossy lip, so I'm going on top of this with my OZ Lab lip gloss, and I'm going to have her press her lips together to help me blend this out. Once I'm finished blending out the lips, that'll be the finished look, and we'll be stepping into the grand reveal, so I'm gonna let y'all watch.
Okay, you ready to see?
Yep. Oh, like a bark. I do that every time. This is cute, the diamonds. Yes, somebody can see me tonight.
Definitely get it.
Get it sexy,
Girl.
Okay, queens, we've made it to the end of the video, and as y'all can see by my client's reaction, this tutorial was another success, y'all. I absolutely love this look. I think it came out so pretty, and it's perfect for prom or whatever occasion y'all have going on. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram. A link will be in the description box down below, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye, queens.